Hey there, this is Lepsy. Today I'm going to be doing a manga tag video. It's been a month since I did my last one, so hopefully that's been enough of a break for you guys. And today this is going to be a really old manga tag. It was originally created by AloofDragons sometime in 2016. I think it was back in like November, and then in December I was actually tagged by MACZ2021 and I just missed it because there were a whole bunch of tags going on at that point in time. So sorry Maxi, I'm doing it now, so hopefully better late than never. I'll leave a link to both of their channels down below so you can go watch their videos. They both have their own channels and produce some awesome content, so yeah, go watch them. So I'll just get started. Question 1 is, what are you reading right now? And I don't currently have any volumes that I'm in the middle of reading, but I do have some that are unread on my shelf. And the next one I'll probably be picking up of those unread volumes would be Vinland Saga. So, yeah. What is your guilty pleasure manga is question number 2. For me, something that I would consider a guilty pleasure is something that I think is awesome, but a lot of other people would say is really crappy or trashy. And I don't know if I have any manga like that. I like all of my series, and I've never had anyone come back and tell me that what I'm reading is garbage. So yeah, I don't think I'd classify any of the series that I read as a guilty pleasure. I don't think I feel guilty about reading any of it. So yeah. Question number 3 is, have you ever cried reading a manga? And if so, do you remember which volume? I don't usually cry during manga. Normally it's movies that make me that emotional. Just they get me upset or sad, but not really enough to bring me to tears. But the manga that did make me the most emotional would have to be A Silent Voice. This was a really sad series in parts, especially this volume 5. Got me really upset. So it's a great series. I love the ending. I love the message in this series, but it gets sad. So, question number 4. What is a manga you like in a genre you don't normally ever read? So for that one, I'd have to say Negima, because I'm pretty sure one of the genres for this is harem. It's a young boy and he becomes a teacher for a high school that's an all-girls high school, so he's got a class full of 30-some girls, and he's the one male that's supposed to be their teacher. So, yeah, normally harem stuff is something that I would stay away from. I probably wouldn't even be interested enough to read the back summary. If I knew that a series was a harem, I'd probably just try and look for something else more interesting. But with this one, it's got magic in it, which is what really caught my eye. And the story itself doesn't really focus on the harem. It does kind of at first, but as the series moves on, it gets better and better to the point where the second half of the series is just amazing. So if you can get past the fan service in the first part, which, is something that doesn't really bother me all that much, I can keep reading through it as long as the story is good, then it's really worth it with this series. It's a really good series, so yeah, that's one I would recommend. Question 5 is, pick Seinen, shoujo, or shounen. And I answered a question similar to this in one of the last tag videos that I did. And for that one, I picked shounen just because I believe the majority of the manga that I own is shounen. But after reading Vinland Saga and Vagabond, it's starting to get closer to seinen. I don't know if it's quite there yet. I think I would probably still pick shounen for this question, but if I get a couple more series similar to Vinland Saga or Vagabond that are just as good, then I would probably pick shounen, or seinen for the next one. Question number 6. What is your favorite manga world and why? For me, that would have to be, it's a toss-up between Fullmetal Alchemist and The Ancient Magus Bride. I like Fullmetal Alchemist because of the depth that was really put into that world. I think that the mangaka went like overboard in a good way when they created that world, because, you know, they went from like Ishbal to Mount Briggs and created this whole new like basically world and map, and added, you know, culture and history and depth to everything that they put in that, and I think that that was phenomenal, and it really added to the story and made me enjoy it so much more. So yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist, I really enjoyed reading that series, partly because of the world that they created in it. And then the reason I like The Ancient Magus Bride is because even though the writer didn't really go out and create this whole new world like they did in Fullmetal Alchemist, they did still add some really cool aspects to it. So I love the fact that like magic is hidden in the background of everyday life. So, you know, it's always there and it exists, but yet you or I or any other normal person wouldn't really know that it's there. So I like that part of it, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's got this feeling of like this ancient power that people have just kind of forgotten about, but it's still alive in some parts of the world. Like they still have dragons hidden in like these corners of the world, and so yeah, I like that part. Yeah. So question number 7 is the most underrated series that you own. For me, that would have to be Devil Survivor. I thought that this series had a really good story, but I don't see a lot of people with this on their bookshelves. In fact, I don't know if I can think of anyone that's picked this up, but it is really good. It's based on a video game, so I suppose if you've played the video game, then it might not be worth it for you to pick up the story, because the manga. One of the things I really enjoyed about the story is that it was so suspenseful. I had no idea what was going on, or, you know, what was going to happen next in this series, which I think made it like really good for me. So yeah, just finding out like what was happening and having it explained to me like what was going to happen next and stuff like that, I really enjoyed. So if that's spoiled for you because you know what's going to happen next, that might not be the best, but this is a really good series otherwise. So if you haven't read it or played the game, then I would suggest picking it up. Also, like as you can see on the cover, the artwork for this is really good. See if I can find some examples in the book. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, I would recommend this series if you haven't heard of it and you see it on a shelf. Just pick it up and give it a read, because I really enjoyed reading it. It's only 8 volumes, so it's not a huge series. Yeah. I don't think there's... Oh, here we go. There's another one of just like a bad guy. Yeah. Good series. Oh, there. Front. Next question is number 8. What is a series that you don't own but want most in your collection / want to start reading? For that one, I would have to say it would probably be Red River. That's a series that I did own back in my first collection of manga. I believe I had over 20 volumes of it, and I think it's close to 30 in the series. So I was getting close to finishing it, but unfortunately I never actually got to finish it, and I really regret that, and the fact that I just sold it, that was stupid. So yeah, I think that would be the series that I'd most like to buy. Unfortunately, it's out of print, so it'd be kind of hard to do so, but maybe someday I'll decide to take on that challenge. We'll see. Question 9 is, do you have a manga with a favorite spine aesthetic? And I would say yes. There's probably 2 spine aesthetics that I really enjoy. The first one would be like Vinland Saga or Noragami, where they have a bunch of spines in like different colors that look really pretty when you put them all together on a shelf. So, you know, a bunch of like bright, attractive colors just lined up on a shelf. I really enjoyed that. Or the other one would be with Vagabond. I only have 2 volumes, but when I see like videos of other people that have like all of the Vizbigs lined up together, I love that flowing spine image and how it like continues along each volume. I think that that looks really cool, especially with the Vagabond art. That just adds a whole other level of amazingness. So I really enjoy it when, you know, the spines have like that continuous picture. I think Seven Deadly Sins is another one that does that, but only like kind of tiny. So yeah, I really like the fact that Vagabond has like those full character continuation art stuff. Yeah. And then final question, number 10, an unread series on your shelf that you're most looking forward to reading. I don't know if I have any unread series on my shelf. Basically, all of the books I have that I haven't read yet are continuations of series I've already started. But as for the books that I haven't read that I'm most looking forward to reading, that would probably be Vinland Saga. Spoiler for my March pickups, I bought more Vinland Saga. Surprise. So yeah, that would be the one that I want to read most. Anyway, those were all of the questions. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know it's super late and probably everyone that's wanted to do this video has already done it. So, you know, if you haven't done the questions and you feel like it, then go ahead. I'm not going to tag anyone for this because it's so old. But again, thank you to MACZ2021 for tagging me. I do appreciate it, and I'm sorry this is out so late. But if anyone wants to leave a comment down below, I love reading and responding to your comments, so definitely post one there. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!